Today we're going to be trying out some candle molds from Let's Resin. So let's jump in and get started. I like to get all my supplies from Let's Resin whenever I work with epoxy. They have everything you need, and discount code NAPTIME will give you a discount. We're going to be mixing up our resin today. This resin from Let's Resin is a 1-to-1 ratio by volume. So you need 1 part A to 1 part B. So if you want to mix up 4 ounces, you'll do 2 ounces part A and 2 ounces part B. I was working on a bunch of different projects when I was filming this video, so I was mixing up 16 ounces, which was 8 ounces part B and 8 ounces part A to make 16 ounces total. But if you're just starting out with resin, I recommend working in 2 or 4 ounce increments to start out. Just in case something doesn't turn out how you thought it would, then it's not a bummer and you didn't waste a bunch of resin. So I would start out with 2 ounces or 4 ounces, and those are really easy to measure out. Just 1 ounce part A and B if you want 2 ounces, or 2 ounces part A and B if you want to do 4 ounces. And when you measure your resin, you want to make sure you get it spot on, equal parts A and B. On Let's Resin's website, they have a bunch of different measuring cups, making it really easy to measure out your resin because they have the ounces and milliliters marked on the sides of the cups. So you can't mess it up, but just take your time and pour slowly. Make sure your parts A and B are completely equal. Then you're going to mix it up for 3 minutes, just like this. Mix slowly, scrape the bottom of your cup, scrape the sides of your cup, scrape off your stir stick, and just really incorporate those parts A and B together. You're going to get a bunch of striations and like stringy lines in your epoxy when you're mixing. It's okay, it's normal for it to look like that. And I personally do a double cup mixing technique. So I mix that up for 3 minutes. Now I'm taking that epoxy and pouring it into a new clean cup. And when you do this, you want to make sure you scrape every single drop out of that cup into your new clean cup, or your measurements for your parts A and B will be off. So that's why I like to mix with a little silicone spatula. Let's Resin also sells these on their website. So just, take your time, make sure you get every single drop out of that cup. And then we're going to mix for another 3 minutes. And this ensures that your epoxy is completely mixed. If you mix your resin up this way, I promise you won't have any issues with your epoxy not setting up properly if it is undermixed. And just take your time. You don't want to introduce a bunch of air bubbles. You don't want to stir really, really fast. Just stir slowly. And if it takes, if you feel like mixing for a little bit longer, you can always mix for a minute or two longer if you want to, if you don't feel like it's completely mixed. And you can tell when all those striations and stringy lines are completely gone. But the minimum you want to do is 3 minutes for each batch. And that's it. Now we're going to get ready to pour. We're going to be using these candle molds today from Let's Resin. They have 6 different molds available in this set. You can get it off their website. Discount code NAPTIME will give you a discount. And I'm just going to take my clear here and fill up the molds almost to the top. I wanted to slightly underfill these because I wanted to pour them in 2 different layers. So I'm just going to fill them almost to the top, but not all the way up to the top. And depending on when you're watching this video, it is going to be Prime Day on Amazon. So there's going to be tons of sales going on Let's Resin's store on Amazon. So definitely check them out if you want to get any new resin supplies. And on Amazon, discount code NAPTIME24 will give you a discount. So now I'm just going to go in with my silicone paintbrush and just dislodge any bubbles that may be stuck in the petal details of this mold. Sometimes you'll have bubbles and they will really like to cling to the details in the molds or around the perimeter on the inside of the mold. So what I like to do is just take a silicone paintbrush, go around the perimeter of the mold on the inside, and just dislodge any bubbles that may be clinging to the rim of the mold. And we're also going to be using some alcohol ink to color these roses. Alcohol ink is so easy to use. It's a great way to get a touch of color in your projects. I'm going to be using blue from this set from Let's Resin's website. You want to shake the bottle up before you use it, and alcohol ink helps pop bubbles as well. You can see a bunch of the bubbles are going to pop as soon as I drop down this alcohol ink. I'm going to let the alcohol ink kind of work its magic a little bit, pop some of the bubbles, and then we're going to give it a little bit of a blend. And you can see here I'm going to have some bubbles come up and rise to the surface. That's also why after I pour, I watch my projects for about 10 minutes, just in case any big bubbles rise to the surface like this. Then I can pop them easily before I walk away and let everything cure. So this is dichroic glass. I'm pouring a little bit of that into the mold right on top of that alcohol ink. And I wasn't too worried because I knew that the bubbles would pop when I poured this glass down. You could also use iridescent glitter if you wanted to, but I wanted to see how this glass looked inside these roses. I'm going to take a little bit of clear and just pour it right on top of that glass just to make sure it is really embedded inside the resin. It is heavy, so it did sink down a little bit, which is what I wanted. I wanted the glass to kind of sink down into the petals of the rose. And that's going to be it for layer number one. I'm going to let these cure overnight. And then tomorrow we're going to go in and fill up the mold the rest of the way with a little bit of clear resin. So here we are the next day, just filling up the mold the rest of the way with a little bit of clear. And I wanted to do this just in case there was any sharp parts of the glass sticking up out on the back of the flower. I didn't want to have any sharp pieces because you know it is glass, so it can be sharp. So I just waited an extra day and filled up the mold the rest of the way with some clear. And that's going to be it. Super easy to make these. They're a great project for beginners. And I'm really excited to see how these turn out. Let them cure overnight. This is 24 hours later, getting ready to take them out of the mold. These molds are so pretty. I can't wait to use them some more. You can use these molds for resin, candle making, whatever you would like. And I think these would be really pretty if I take a gold permanent paint pen and go around the kind of edges of each of the petals. I think that would make it look really nice. You can see that if you go back and look at the screenshot of the molds on Let's Resin's website. They have a few examples of what you can make with these molds. These are so pretty, just cute little decorations. I wanted to see how they turned out with the blue alcohol ink inside, and I really, really love this color combination with that glass. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Naptime Creations, and definitely check out Let's Resin for all of your resin needs. Like I said, Prime Day is coming and they're having a big sale. Discount code NAPTIME24 will give you extra savings on their Amazon store and also on their website, just discount code NAPTIME. But I appreciate you guys so, so much. I hope you're all doing fantastic. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys soon for another video. Bye, guys.